What is a red flag that you should not have ignored about someone you were dating? I'll go first.
Hey beautiful people, how y'all doing today? Together Destiny here and welcome back to my channel. How y'all doing today? Hope you guys are doing great. So today's video is a video of red flag that should not be avoided during relationship. So today's video, we're going to hear white women talk about red flag that they should not have ignored in a relationship. Anyway guys, let's go hear what they have to say and then I'll come back and share my own thoughts.
What is a red flag that you should not have ignored about someone you were dating? I'll go first. I had a first date planned with a guy that I was pretty excited about, super cute, really smart, and he had this idea of dressing up in a theme as an icebreaker for our first date, and he was like, let's dress up as like really obnoxious tourists. And I love that idea. I'm always down for a theme. Any themed party, I'm going over the top. I was in the middle of moving, so I didn't have very many options. Did I let that stop me? No, I borrowed my dad's shirt. Before anybody says it, yes, I know. That was not on purpose. I walk into the restaurant and he is not in theme. And I was like, you're not in theme. And he was like, yeah, I was kidding. I was too committed to the bit at that point though, so I stayed like that the entire date. Kept the sunglasses on, kept the fanny pack on, and then I went out with him again. And then he ended it because he said that I was too political because I asked him if he voted. I might be political, but at least I'm not boring. What is a red flag that you should not have ignored about someone you were dating?
This may seem really basic, but I really wish that somebody had pointed it out to me far earlier in my life. I would say the time that he said something incredibly hurtful, demeaning, and disrespectful that hurt my feelings in a big way, and I waited till the next day to talk to him about it calmly and affectionately and sweetly, and let him know that he had hurt my feelings, and comments like that are hurtful, and I got yelled at and met with rage and told that I was too sensitive. All together now, that's gaslighting. If you calmly and effectively state your needs or your hurt and the other person does nothing about it, but get mad at you for it, they are not in that relationship for you. They don't care about you. They are only in it for themselves, and they will continue to do that to you until you are a shell of a person. Trust me. If you get in trouble for being a person, for having feelings and having needs, just run. Just run.
What is a red flag that you should not have ignored about someone you were dating?
Before I get into this, it's really hard to admit that I allowed my ex-fiance to treat me like this. And not even not even someone I was dating, I was fianced. Thank you for the emotional support. Okay, so we would sometimes watch a movie and eat dinner as you do, but I was never allowed to sit on the couch and eat because he perceived me as more clumsy than him. So I had to sit on the floor on what he called an eating blanket. And occasionally if he wasn't home, I would like eat a bowl of cereal while I watched a dumb Netflix show, but I would set up the blanket so if I heard him come home, I could quickly jump to it and he wouldn't know that I had broken the rule. The moral of this story is if someone treats you like a child, it's not because they want a partner, it's because they want someone they can dominate. And while I acknowledge it's hard to get out from the thumb of someone's emotional manipulation at the end of the day, it was up to me to set that boundary. It was up to me not to sit on the blanket. But I did.
What is a red flag that you should not have ignored about someone you were dating?
I've told some stories about recording studio guy. Here's another one. We've been together for a few months, and I felt like things were going really great. I was calling him my boyfriend. We'd been physically intimate. We were having a really good time. So one night we're hanging out. He gets a phone call. He looks at the caller ID and says, I have to take this, and then goes into the sound booth. The soundproof sound booth. He's in there for like 45 minutes, and when he finally comes out, he is visibly agitated. So I ask him, what's wrong? He paces around for a little bit, then he turns to me and says, we're friends, right? He explains that there was a call from a woman that we both knew, who unbeknownst to me, he had been seeing for about a month, and she was calling to break it off with him. His feelings were very hurt and he wanted to be consoled. I stayed with him for a year.
What is a red flag that you should not have ignored about someone you were dating?
People let you know early on that they're not considerate, and you need to look out for these little things. And I think texting etiquette, so that's where like, who am I to think that they, are busy and they can just, they have a life of their own, whatever. No, but if it's around 5 p.m. on a Friday and that person that knows that you like them texts you like, hey, what are you doing tonight? And you answer in great detail and you tell them where you're going and with who, and they're more than welcome, and they don't answer. That is so inconsiderate because they know how you feel. They know you're excited. And people don't understand how stressful the weekends can be when you like somebody and you don't know if they like you. Just don't make me feel like I did something wrong for just being myself. I don't want to feel bad for being nice to you. Be considerate, because I don't have to be nice to you.
What is a red flag that you should not have ignored about someone you were dating?
Quite a number of years ago, I dated a young man who lived at his mom's house. That's not the red flag, it was 2014. Minimum wage, everybody lived at their mom's house. One night, I went over and I made us a fancy dinner, just the two of us. And after dinner, I go and I start cleaning up. I'm at his mom's house, I want to be a good guest. He comes in the kitchen and he says, "Oh, can I help? How can I help?" And I'm like, "Oh, sure, thanks. Can you start the dishwasher?" This man looks at me and he says, "Yeah. How do I do that?" I turned off the faucet and I looked at him and I said, you live here, correct?" "Yeah." "You grew up in this house?" "Uh-huh." "With this dishwasher?" "Right." "Does your family just not use the dishwasher?" "No, my mom does." "So you're telling me that your mom has done the dishes every day for 24 years and never asked you to do it, and you've never offered to do it?" "Yeah, I don't know how to do it." "Why did I date this man for 8 months?"
What is a red flag that you should not have ignored about someone you were dating?
I moved back to my hometown about 2 years after getting sober and got a job at a little coffee shop and was a barista. There's this guy that came in every morning and he caught my eye right away. He was very well-spoken, articulate. We had a lot of things in common, and he was gorgeous. He gave me butterflies, and I hadn't had butterflies in a really long time. He made up some silly excuse one day to ask me for my number, and of course I was just beside myself. We texted for a while, and he finally asked me out. I was really excited for this date. We were meeting at his house, and then we were going to go out to eat. And I texted him and told him I was outside, and he asked me to come upstairs real quick. He wasn't ready yet. I really didn't want to, but I said, okay, I wasn't going to sit out in the parking lot. And I walked up to his apartment, knocked on the door, and he opened up the door. When we made eye contact, my stomach flipped. I don't know why. There was something that just made me uncomfortable, and I knew immediately that it was a wrong fit. But of course I didn't listen, and things went downhill from there. Red flag after red flag after red flag.
What is a red flag that you should not have ignored about someone you were dating?
I have plenty of stories about my ex-wife and her toxic as fuck family, but this is the first red flag. It was 2 months into our relationship. I went back home with her for Thanksgiving to meet her family in person for the very first time. We got along great. Everything was going well. We all had a few drinks. And me and my ex-wife decided it was time for us to go to bed. So we go to bed, we say goodnight. And then as we're getting ready for bed, her mother comes into our room without knocking, comes into our room and strips my ex-wife naked, like she's a baby. Strips her naked, tucks her into bed naked next to me. I'm weirded out and I'm like, that was weird. My ex-wife, no, it's not weird. It's totally normal. Anyway, we decide to move on with our night. We start making out and then her mother comes back into the room without knocking and goes, "You girls," and then slowly exits.
Pumpkin. What is a red flag that you should not have ignored about someone you were dating?
Let's begin. For me, it wasn't that he was a 30-year-old man pursuing me, a then 19-year-old. And it wasn't that he had just purchased a $50,000 car but was still living on his best friend's couch. It was a completely different red flag that I just fucking bulldozed past. I can already hear the men in the comments being like, "You were 19, you were an adult, you did nothing wrong." And go to bed. After he encouraged me to drop out of college and somehow convinced me to move into a whole apartment with him after 2 months of dating, I got home from work one day and decided I was going to withdraw money from the card that our company deposited our checks into and was told that it was empty. And then I called the credit card company and they said it had been withdrawn earlier that day. My purse had been with him all day long while I was at work. So of course I inquired, perhaps did you find yourself bored today and decide to withdraw $100 from my account? And he vehemently denied it and then cried to me all night about how if you can't trust me with your purse, then clearly you don't love me as much as you should. Of course, I just wholeheartedly believed him and apologized profusely. He admitted to it the next day and said the only reason he took it is because he didn't think that I would miss it, so of course he should have it. I dumped his ass immediately. Just kidding, I dated him for a full year after that.
So please go down in the comment section and share your own thoughts on everything these women said about the red flags. Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? go down in the comment section and share your thoughts, because that's what we do here. We have conversation. So feel free, share your opinion down in the comment section, but please do it respectfully. You don't have to disrespect anybody for you to air your opinion. So let's be respectful down in the comment section, okay? Thank you, guys. I share some of my thoughts on the black women. So if you want to know my thoughts on those ones, go check out that video, the part 1 of it. There's going to be a part 3 of it. That's black men own, and I can't wait for you guys to hear that. So first up, the lady that was talking about her dating while she was 19. I feel personally that if you are a grown-up man, you're in like 30, late 25, you have no business dating a 19. I feel like a grown-up person has no business dating a 19 years old, because a 19 years old, my opinion, to some extent, is still a young adult, very young adult. So they should roll more with their peers. But some 19 likes it old. But for me, I just feel like a grown-up man that really wants a grown-up person shouldn't be doing that, shouldn't be dating a 19. I see it as being more like grooming, because I feel like at 19, 18, they're being more persuaded and easily molded. So I feel like that's the reason, like you're just waiting for them to clock that 18, 19 so that you can groom and manipulate them. So for me, yeah, I'm happy she left that relationship. The lady talking about how she was dating this guy when they were doing music together. She thought they were dating. She thought the guy was a boyfriend. Personally, if you're in any form of relationship with anybody, even it being a friendship, you and the person did not define the relationship is as no relationship. So always define your relationship, be it a romantic relationship or a friendship or a situationship. Always sit down on the table and have that discussion. It may be very awkward sometimes, but I don't see it awkward when you have that type of conversation. What are we? Are we in a romantic relationship or what? Are we friends or what? Like, I usually have that type of relationship with somebody. I usually think like, oh, maybe me and this person were getting too close. You're my friend now. I'll call you and like, babe, are we feeling each other like that? Like, are we friends? Because if you don't see me as a friend, I'm going to just backtrack. So anyway, always define whatever relationship you see yourself. The lesbian lady that was talking about how her ex-wife mom came to undress, like, for me, I see that as some white people type of word, because I just feel like that can never happen in the black community. Am I wrong? Let me know down in the comment section if you think such thing can ever happen in the black community, but I don't see it happening though. The next is the lady that was talking about the boyfriend that does not know how to use the dishwasher. See, any man that does not know how to do house chores, run, because at the end of the day, you will be chief housemaid to him. You will be chief mother to him. So any man that does not know how to do household probably has been spoiled by his mom. So run. You don't want to carry that extra load, because he will expect you to do other things as his girlfriend, and also expect you to clean up after him. So run. And he obviously has been in a household where he sees that it's a woman that does those things. So he will not even appreciate you when you do those things for him. Like, run. That's a big red flag. Oh, this next one really gets me. The lady talking about how her feelings was not justified. Like, the guy was trying to make her feel bad for feeling a certain way. Like, I always have this conversation with my friend, my husband, and everybody around me. If I'm telling you this thing makes me feel this type of way, it is not in your place to tell me that I should not be feeling that way. It is not your feeling, it is my feeling. So anybody that is just going to make me feel like, including in a relationship, that is just going to make me feel like my feelings, like, you're just thinking this thing too much, it's not that deep, why are you feeling this way? It's my feeling. You don't know what I've been through in life where that thing made me feel a certain way. So if I'm expressing my feeling, listen to it and see how you, but don't just try to dismiss my feelings. So I agree with what she said, like, run for people or anybody that wants to dismiss your feeling, that does not want to validate your feeling, run. Because it will make you look like you're crazy. And lastly, the lady that was talking about when she first saw the guy, she felt certain way. Always trust your instinct. Your instincts will never lie to you. Your guts will never lie to you. So when you meet somebody, or you don't ignore that gut feeling you have inside. Don't we always do? I've done it before. Don't ignore it, because later on in that relationship, or when that relationship ended, you were like, but that first time I actually felt. You will always know. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts about all this down in the comment section. I'd love to know what you think about this. Please go ahead and share your thoughts down in the comment section, because that's what we do here. We have conversation, but we do it respectfully. Okay? Please share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation. Give this video a big thumbs up, like this video. With that all said, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I will see you guys in my next video. Deuces.